YouTube, what is good with y'all, man? Welcome back to the channel for another fire ass video. All right, so as you can tell by the title, guys, we are talking about 5 things that you need before you carry your EDC. If you don't know, I'm very passionate about EDCs. Having my EDC on me actually saved my life. So today I decided I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys some game on things that I do before I actually carry a gun. So the first thing that you need before you carry an EDC is going to be a solid weapon choice, man. So as you guys know, 90% of the time I am carrying my Glock 19 Gen 5. Now this thing is locked and loaded, so let me go ahead and clear that. Safe direction. Like I said before, the main thing that you guys are going to want is a solid weapon choice, all right? How do you decide which gun is gonna be a solid weapon choice? Well, let me tell you. Before I carry a gun, I always make sure that it's going to run 500 rounds, at least 500 rounds flawlessly, all right? And my ammo of choice is typically MagTech. So if any gun can't run 115 grain MagTech 500 rounds straight through flawlessly, I don't want it. So I know what you're thinking, Chris, I gotta go and buy this gun first to try to see if it's gonna actually work before I carry it. Well, there's ways around that. First thing is, do your research, bro. Go online, go on YouTube, and look to try to see what people are saying about this certain firearm that you may be looking into. They have hundreds of people putting out reviews and doing durability tests or whatever on certain guns. So I would use your judgment on that if I'm gonna carry a gun or not. Now, the other way that I highly recommend is going to your local gun range and actually just renting it out and testing it out on the actual range. Everybody has different hands, grips, you know, things that feel better to them. So what works for me may not work for you. So that's why I always encourage everybody to get out there and actually test these guns out before you buy. Now, after I run that 500 rounds, I'll take my carry ammo and I run another 250 through that, just to actually make sure that the carry ammo works with that gun, because carry ammo can be kind of finicky. All right, so let's go back in order. We're gonna go ahead and do our research on the gun. We're gonna go to the range, shoot the gun. We like the gun, we purchase the gun. Then we go to the range, we put 500 rounds through it. Now it needs to get to 500 rounds flawlessly. That's just my opinion. That's just how I do it. In the first 200 rounds, it has a couple hiccups and then it goes another 500 rounds. Okay, cool. But just make sure that you guys go through that 500 round process. After that 500 round process, go get your carry ammo that you're thinking about. Maybe go and get 2 or 3 different kinds. If it runs flawlessly, run a total of 250 rounds of that particular type of carry ammo through your gun. If everything works out, you found your gun. All right, number 2 on this list is going to be actually having carry ammo, man. Shout out to my FMJ boys, but man, y'all gotta actually get carry ammo. You cannot be walking around with full metal jackets. Now this is a full metal jacket. This is gonna be a round nose FMJ. And this is a hollow point. You wanna get you hollow points, man. You wanna run nothing but hollow points versus FMJs. Now, the reason for this is FMJs tend to go through things. Hollow points stop in things, all right? So just so you know the difference. And you gotta be 100% aware of this, man, because if you shoot somebody with an FMJ and it goes through them and hit somebody else, you gotta understand that you're 100% liable for every bullet that's fired out of your gun. So to protect yourself and other people, stop being cheap, go get the hollow points. The third thing on this list, a holster, man. You gotta make sure that you get a holster if you're going to be carrying an EDC. Now you have to make sure that you have a reliable holster when you EDC. Bro, don't be out there pocket carrying. So there are a few things that you need to know when you are picking out a holster. Now, this holster is a T-Rex arms holster. This is actually one of my first holsters that I got. Now, there are a few things that I want to point out to you guys about this holster. Now, this is a Kydex holster, all right? Which means it's plastic. You wanna make sure that you get a Kydex holster. Now, the reason for that is leather holsters can, you know, they can warp around the trigger of your gun and you can potentially have an ND. ND is a negligent discharge, bro. Accidentally shooting your gun off. Another thing that I look for in these holsters is adjustability. So you see these holes right here? That means that this is adjustable. Now, the reason for that is when I am carrying, I like my gun to ride a little high just so it's easier for me to grab the grip. And the reason for this is when my gun tends to ride a little low, I have a hard time grabbing that handle when I come out to draw. So in other words, I don't want my handle nowhere close to my belt line. Now, if you're looking for a more budget-friendly option than T-Rex arms, I highly recommend Toaster, which brings us to the ad of this video. I'm just playing, ain't no ad. But I will tell you that they make premium holsters at an affordable price. If you're looking to grab a toaster, we actually partnered up to give my viewers a little bit more of a discount. So on checkout, use code ChrisTV and you can save some more money. But I do want to show you guys that, you know, boom, it locks into place. You know, you don't want nothing sliding out your holster if you turn it upside down. Same thing with this, you get that positive click retention. So you don't have to worry about your gun coming out when you don't want it out. Now, the next thing I'm going to recommend, that's gonna be number 4, I think, is going to be a light for your carry weapon. Now, I always recommend if you buy EDC, carry it every day, all day, all right? And typically, for the most part, a lot of bad stuff happens at night. You know, that's what our grandparents tell us, don't nothing good happen after 9 o'clock. So because of that, I always have a light on all of my carry guns. So the lights that I recommend, Surefire and Streamlight. I like the flush look on this, so this is a Streamlight TLR 7A. And because it's flush, it carries very small. Now, when it comes to lumen, I highly recommend a lumen count of at least 500 lumens on your carry light. Now for me, I like a little bit of candela too. So the higher the candela, 80,000 candela, 60,000 candela, the better. Now the 5th thing that I have to have on all of my EDCs is a red dot. Now with red dots, it helps with quicker target acquisition, meaning that you can get on target quicker than when you can with regular old irons. And that's just from my own testing. You know, everybody may be a little bit different, but that's just me. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys, probably out till about 7 yards, I don't even need to aim, you know, unless I'm just really trying to be like, hit a certain spot. But in a self-defense situation, I can really just point and shoot and I know that I'm gonna hit my target. Now, I don't wanna recommend a specific red dot for you guys because everybody's preference may vary, but I definitely recommend that you go online, do your research and make the best choice for you. But I'm still gonna tell you what I carry. Now, this is a primary orange red dot. I've had this for a little over 2 years now and she's still going strong. Now, I will say that I have had like a little, little mishap where the buttons had actually came off, but right now she still works. But outside of this, a company that I would recommend is Trigicon. And if you're on a budget, I highly recommend Solid Optics. Now hold on, bro, this video ain't over because I got 2 honorable mentions. All right, so now that you got your gun, your carry ammo, your holster, your light, and your red dot, before you start carrying, I'm gonna recommend that you go get training. Now, a gun does not make you invincible. I highly recommend that everybody trains with the gun that you're gonna carry. I'm pretty sure that we all know somebody that's out there carrying a gun that they probably only took to the range once. So with that being said, go out there and actually get training. Even if you're going to the range and just putting rounds through your gun, learning how to actually hold the gun, learning how to actually aim the gun. Because remember, you're accountable for every bullet that comes out of this. Let's just say somebody ain't really shot a gun like that and they're limp wristing. What is that gun gonna do? It's gonna jam. And not to say that the gun is bad, but your technique is bad. And that can be fixed with training. So make sure that you guys go out there, get the training before you start carrying your EDC. All right, the second honorable mention and the last thing on this list, I'm gonna recommend before you start carrying an EDC is some type of carry insurance or legal representation. Now, I am not going to recommend a certain company for you to go and spend your money with. But what I will do is I will tell you to do what? Your research. Go out there and do your research. See what the masses is saying about different companies or different options out there. Don't just find one company and just be like, okay, I'm going with this company. Actually do your research, bro. Stop being lazy and do your research, fam. Ever have to get in a position where you have to use your firearm, you have legal representation to get out. Because nobody wants to be sitting in jail for the next 9 months, and have a court-appointed lawyer, hopefully, hoping to get off. So make sure that you guys get that legal representation, because if you do have to use this in a situation, it's a good chance you may go to jail or get charged with homicide at the absolute least. So guys, that is my top 5 things with 2 honorable mentions that I would recommend that you do before you start carrying your EDC. If there's anything that I missed, let me know in the comment section. If there's anything that you would add or take away from this list, let me know. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you boys stay dangerous. Until next time.